It's Debatable with Mark Gray here on MLBBro.com.
Man, Ram, once again, Rob Manfred continues to be the gift that keeps on giving. In his latest salvo, while talking about the future of Major League Baseball and expansion, he actually talked about realignment. Bro, can you imagine a league where there is no American or National League? The Mets and the Yankees are in the same division. I mean, doesn't that lose all of what romance that we were supposed to have with the game? I mean, let's be real for a second. Dodgers, Angels in the same division, no traveling. Come on, man. That's like, you know what it is? It gives me bitter beer face. You remember that back in the day? When I heard that, it was like I had thrown up in my throat. So I'm glad you allowed me to purge myself. But what do you make of this? I mean,
I think a lot of people took what he said, and of course, like it is, like the world tends to be today, they just took something and they just ran 50 yards with it. I think he talked about expansion. I think he talked about realignment, and I think people automatically assume like basically we're just doing away with National League, American League. I still think that, you know, and honestly, I seen an article, a well-written article on The Athletic a couple of days ago about projecting what MLB realignment would look like. I think Stephen Nesbitt wrote it, and I think he did the most sound assessment of what Rob Manfred said and applied it into real terms. I think obviously expanding into 32 teams. I think he said the Rays would move to the National League, the Rockies would move to the American League, and then he would keep things pretty much the same: National League, American League, and have more of a setup of kind of similar to the NFL, where you'd have an AL North, an AL East, an AL South, an AL West.
Conferences.
Conferences.
So, the conferences are for
I don't mind that.
basketball.
I don't mind that. Like if Stephen Nesbitt's idea is the actual idea that Rob Manfred has in mind, then I don't mind that, because you still keep the essence of American League, National League. You still keep some of those division rivalries going, those natural rivalries going, you know. And I think that still fits within the framework. When you start getting into crazy, I've seen some crazy stuff on Twitter, which is part of the course.
Come on, man.
But
I mean, I'm talking like, about.
I've seen, you know, Mets, Yankees, Phillies, Red Sox in one division, and you got the Rays, Marlins, and Braves in one division. Like, it's just insane. That I'm not a fan of. I'm with you on that. Like, I think it can be like college football, where you're seeing big games every week. You know, you're seeing, you know, it'd be cool to see Dodgers and, you know, I don't know, Astros and the same Angels every week, you know, or, you know, 2 times a month or whatever, something like that. So I think it would be cool. That being said, I just don't think the juice is worth the squeeze. I think if you do realignment, make it make sense. I don't think completely upending tradition, because I do agree with you. Baseball, more than any other sport, thrives on its tradition. And I think you've gotten away from, and then some of the moves that Manfred has made have made sense. And they, in retrospect, have worked. I think this would be too far. This would be getting rid of National League, American League, putting these teams in the same division. And ain't it funny? I'll end with this. Ain't it funny that all the outrage and the uproar is when people seen that projected like new Eastern Conference or whatever, when it was Yankees, Phillies, nobody cared about.
My stomach is bubbling.
Rays and Cubs or something. Everybody just cared about Yankees, Phillies, Red Sox, Mets, all the big spenders, all the luxury tax teams in one division.
Right. Isn't that funny? And they the ones that's playing deep into the postseason anyway. Yes to expansion, no to realignment. Case closed. Wherever you fit the team, you know, period, point blank, because the two sides can't peacefully coexist.
Can't have one without the other.
That you and I grew up watching and fell in love with. Sorry, you know, it's just like, you know, it's like the girl that goes in and says that she's gonna have a facelift and it comes out wrong.
Yeah,
you never look at her the same way. Anyway, for the Man Ram, I'm the OG. That's debatable for this week.
For more right now, go to MLBBro.com.